if I'm envisioning a stalker, normally they're making one shot, one kill, right? They are the assassin on the rooftop that's been waiting for 45 minutes, and then they
Yeah.
get the line and they take it. That's what I think of when I think of a Gloom Stalker. I don't think of a man going, "Ah!"
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today is another Martial Monday. And we will be talking about the Ranger Conclave Gloom Stalker.
Hood goes up, and you're like sneaking around, and you're the ultra edgiest ranger of all edgy rangers. I love that this exists. This is
This is a
everything that
good one.
yeah.
Like we
If
talked
like,
about what Fey Wanderer last time, and that was amazing. And I feel like this one's going to be up there. But
I agree.
okay,
I
good.
I'm glad they
Usually
made
you really bring me down on these.
I'm glad they made Rangers new archetypes really deeply interesting in a lot of unique ways. So like I think Fey Wanderer and this are very different, but both really cool
Mm,
executions of concepts that people could want to play with. This is an incredibly popular Ranger option. It is both really powerful for that contributing to why it's really popular, but it also just like it fulfills every single one of our teenage angst inner fantasies as a child where you were just like, I'm too cool and have a black blade and dark bow and lurk in the corner with my feet up and I'm unwilling to do this venture, but I guess I'll help. That's this to the T. And I love
yeah.
that for that reason. It actually delivers that fantasy really well. So we start with 3 abilities at 3rd level. That's so many. And they added a new kind of ability that Rangers get now called the magic. So they have Gloomstalker magic, they have Fey Wanderer magic. There's all these different kinds that are basically expanded spell lists, or expanded spell lists, excuse me. That Xanathar's plus Rangers all got. That kind of fixed some of the issues that Rangers have in that they don't feel like they can do a lot with their spell slots. They don't learn that many. So Gloomstalker Magic starts us out with you learn an additional spell when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Gloomstalker spells table. The spell counts as ranger spells for you. They don't count against the number of ranger spells you know. So you just get these for free. You get at 3rd
Nice.
level, yeah, 3rd level you get Disguise Self. At 5th level you get Rope Trick. At 9th level you get Fear. At 13th level you get Greater Invisibility. And at 17th level you get Seeming. Seeming's like fine, but at 17th level it's hard to get excited about Seeming.
I mean, it's hard to get excited about it at any level,
Yeah, yeah.
but like unless you have some ridiculous idea on how to use it, in which case I think you can still do that at 17th level.
Maybe. I think like the ship has kind of sailed at that point, but I do think like greater invisibility and under will all feel good at the tiers you get them. Greater
Yes, I
invisibility plays
agree.
like particularly well on martial characters because you want advantage in all your attack rolls. Why wouldn't you? And that's just like a minute of that. That seems sweet to me. Fear is a giant area effect condition that normally isn't in Ranger's wheelhouse. Getting it here is great. Like genuinely, a 9th level, you'd be like, oh, I have an actual, oh, pardon, powerful new usable tool at my disposal. Sweet. I love Rope Trick on this option so much. It's a cute little spell that I don't see wizards cast that much. As a we need to go hide right now and we cannot be here, Rope Trick is perfect for Rangers. I love that.
Hmm.
And even Disguise Self is just like a high utility infiltration tool, right? If you want to be an assassin, Gloomstalker is kind of perfect because you look like somebody else until you take the 2 sharpshooter shots from the top of a roof, headshot 2 different people, and then switch into a different disguise and walk right out of there. That's a really sweet little fantasy this all sets up for you.
Absolutely.
It's not all
Yeah, this
notes.
is I forgot what the Fey Wanderer spell list, expanded spell list was, but this has to compare, right? I mean,
They
these
were
are
they
great.
were they were both excellent, and this one
Yeah,
is I think about as excellent. I will say like your spell save DC is likely lower, so that makes things like Fear slightly worse, but it's not the end of the world. 3rd level gives us Dread Ambusher as well, and also Umbral Sight. We'll do Dread Ambusher first. So at 3rd level, you master the Art of Ambush. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your Wisdom modifier. At the start of the start of your first turn of each combat, your walking speed increases by 10, which lasts until the end of that turn. If you take the attack action on that turn, you can make 1 additional weapon attack as part of that action. If this attack hits, the target takes a bonus D8 damage of the weapon's type. Sweet. So first round of combat, you are going earlier. You are getting an extra attack. You are going faster. That just makes it so your first round of every single combat, even if you don't surprise them, you are better. But you're not like so much better like Assassinate is. You're just
yeah,
like reasonably better. And
but
given
still,
that,
every combat.
yeah, every combat, your first round is substantially better. You also get Umbral Sight, though. So at 3rd level, you gain Dark Vision up to 60 feet. If you already have Dark Vision from your race, its range increases by 30 feet. Cute.
I
I'm
love
glad that
that.
it. Yeah, me too. It doesn't really matter, but I do love that it's here.
Yes,
You are
I
also
was going
adept
to
at
bring that up.
Evading creatures that rely on dark vision. While in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see you in that darkness. I genuinely think this is the coolest ability to hear. And we've talked about kind of 4, right? So like Dread Ambusher is a bonus to initiatives and a first round bonus. Umbral Sight is bonus dark vision and you're invisible to dark vision creatures. All of that plays together to really paint the picture as to what this character wants to do, which is get the drop on people and attack fast, hit hard, and get back in the shadows. That's sweet.
All right. About Umbral Sight. Yes. I like that you get dark vision. I like playing humans a lot of the time. But I mean, so many other races. Stop shaking your head at me. So many other races get dark vision. So I love that it has a range increase if you already have it. That is probably never ever going to come up, but it makes me feel better. Like it makes me feel like, oh, I'm not missing out on a feature. I still get something.
It rewards people for thinking ahead and wanting to build into something, right? Like, even if the payoff isn't that great, at least you can say, I'm building the Dark Vision character, and you take Gloom Stalker Ranger with a superior Dark Vision race like Drow, and you're like, you now got 150 feet Dark Vision. Sure, why not? It's way overkill, but it's cute that you can do it. I like that that has that modality. It kind of rewards people for thinking ahead. It doesn't make you feel bad for going, oh, I don't get anything here because I happen to play an elf. Like that.
Well, it doesn't matter because you also get the other part of Umbral Sight.
Yeah, that's true. That's also always a great feature.
Which is the real feature there.
Yeah, and the bad part of the feature still is well designed, at least.
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah.
Altogether, this plays out really powerfully, and I think we'll see 3 levels in Ranger on a lot of Munchkin builds that are trying to do the one turn of just Nova Explosion, because like if you do have things like Assassinate with Dread Ambusher, that attack now crits, and that bonus D8 damage also crits. So if you're doing like 3 Gloomstalker, you're getting an extra attack out of that. That compiles with the Barbarian or the Paladin Smite things and your extra attacks and your action surges to be just another component that makes you land on something, attack it 116 times, crit on all of them, smite on all of them, and there's a smoldering 5,000 point damage greater there. That's a part of that. More realistically, though, playing at the majority of the table just as Ranger going down the line, this is like a third of the rounds in combat, you are substantially better. A third of the rounds in combat, you get a full extra attack. That's pretty awesome. You go faster, you hit harder, you're rewarded for setting up the fight, so you like want to greater invisibility first. You get some payoff for doing proactive preparation stuff. I like that a lot. I don't know. It's just a solid little initiative-based feature that plays well at even tables where initiative isn't a huge concern, or even at tables where like you aren't going to regularly surprise things. Because every time you have a first turn, this does something.
Yeah, I mean, Gloomstalker feels like something you'd go all the way with, because most of the features are really cool, or it's great for multi-classes as well because you get so much at 3rd level.
I really like its 3rd level feature. I think it carries it through to 11th level because I'm not particularly high on the 7th level feature, despite it being reasonably powerful. So,
well, the 7th. All right, well, let's talk about it first.
Okay, so it's Iron Mind. By 7th level, you've honed your ability to resist mind-altering powers of your prey. You have proficiency. You gain proficiency, wisdom saving throws. If you already have it, you can gain int or charisma. Your choice.
I like proficiency in wisdom saving throws. I mean, I'm a little less excited about int or charisma saving throws, but again, just like the dark vision thing, glad you get something.
Yeah. Okay. So like, this is technically powerful because the most debilitating effects in the game normally are associated with saving throws, right?
Yeah.
You losing turns to dominate person is majorly augmented by your ability to pass that save, and getting your proficiency bonus to that is huge, right? It goes from I have a +2 to this to I have a +7 to this sometimes. I have a +6 to this. That is an enormous jump in odds of succeeding DC 15, 16, 17 saves, which are relevant and important. I'm not going to say that they aren't. I'm not going to say this feature doesn't have text. I do think the text here is really, really boring. Criminally boring.
Well, yeah.
I think that a criminally boring feature doesn't deserve to exist. I would much rather see a better solution for granting martial characters ways to continue adding to their resistances to these crippling saves. I'd more likely rather like to see like the saves be augmented in a different fashion, but that requires a system change. At minimum, then, what I'd like to see alongside of this being given is some cooler utility feature that doesn't have to be powerful but gives them something new to do. This just being bonus to saves is like, well, I don't really get anything new at 7th level. I'm just more resilient at 7th level. And I want new things every time I take levels in this game. I want to be able to expand my toolbox, do more things to my attack rolls, do more things in the shadows. If I'm playing a Gloomstalker, I want more tools to make darkness. I want more tools to play around in that darkness. And Iron Mind doesn't deliver on that at all. It just says you get a
No.
relevant saving throw type.
All right. How about this though? If your DM is constantly throwing these spells at you, where you keep failing saving throws, then 7th level, it does feel like a feature because all of a sudden, all these throws you're failing, you're now succeeding at, and that could be exciting.
But what's more likely happening is the inverse of that. What's more likely happening is you weren't facing down a lot of those saving throws in the low tiers because they're miserably unfun and they wildly turn encounters into like just save or die or lose, right? Like it's either you pass the save or the encounter is over. But then when you get into the upper tiers and you have more resiliency, you have the higher hit point bank, so you can actually you can stay paralyzed for a turn and expect to remain alive. You can't expect that in the low tiers. But if you get to like, 13th, 14th, 15th level and you start seeing more whiz saves against being more mass frightens, more mass mind controls, more AoE or even single targeted kind of effects, Iron Mind has been there. It's just been a thing that's been on your sheet that you haven't really gotten that excited to get. Like you didn't change your play pattern or your perspective. You didn't adjust how your character engaged with the world at all whenever you got it at 7th level. It just happens to be nice in the upper tiers when you need it more. And in the low tiers, you get here and you go, oh, I made 3 wisdom saving throws this game so far. Bummer. Oh well. And we keep going. It will eventually be useful. It's just not that great right now.
I'm with you in that it doesn't give you a new thing to do. So that's not great. But what you were I forgot when you mentioned this, but I think it was about Umbral Sight. But yeah, when you were talking about rewarding you looking ahead when you're building your character, this there's something here as well. If you somehow get proficiency in wisdom saving throws because you just want as many proficiency saving throw proficiencies as you can get your hands on, then yeah, you can plan ahead, grab it, and then choose intelligence or charisma as well.
There's a small issue in that if you get it, if you're gonna get it earlier, you're likely getting it from the resilient feat and not from, I think it's resilient and not from another class, because typically if you're going 7 levels in something, that means you're taking the most levels that you're taking in it, and that normally means you want to get to 5 as fast as you can, and the only other way to get saving throws is to start a different class. So if you're starting cleric or paladin, I think those two both get whiz. Maybe it's druid cleric. In either case, I don't really see that being a common case, but again, the resilient maybe happens sometimes. I still don't think it's the first feat I'm ever taking. So like, of all the times for if you gain the bonus, you can get this, and if you already have the bonus, you get this instead. This one kind of matters the least, but it is still good that it's here, you're right.
Yeah. All right, thought I'd give it a little bit more juice. But...
Sure. I would love to get this like a once per long rest cast of darkness or just something else, because it really could use it. And by that I mean like this makes me not want to play the subclass, to be entirely honest. It just is too boring to me. 11th level gives us Stalker's Flurry, so 11th level you learn to attack with such unexpected speed that you can turn a miss into another strike. Once on each of your turns, when you miss the weapon attack, you can make another attack as part of that same action. This is a consistency boon, yeah. Especially in the first round of combat, if you make 3 attacks, you hit 2 of them, you miss the third one, you get to make another one immediately. Sweet.
Yeah, and Rangers get a extra attack, right?
Yeah, they get 2 attacks with extra attack. You can get Swift Quiver to up that to 4. If you got Crossbow, you already said you gone 3. So you're looking at you're making a lot of attacks if you want to be. And again, with Dread Ambusher, you're making another one. So this like very clearly paints Gloom Stalker as you make a lot of attacks as a ranger. Like you are the ranger that wants to make as many attacks as humanly possible, so that this triggers every single round. You always want Stalker's Flurry turned online. It also happens to play disgustingly well with Sharpshooter, because Sharpshooter gives you a -5 to hit.
That's
so
true.
Now those misses turn into extra chances, and now you have actually no reason to not always use Sharpshooter. So that's pretty solid, pretty powerful.
I never had a reason to not use Sharpshooter.
That's correct.
I'm just okay with missing.
Because when you hit, it doubles your damage. And that's better than hitting.
Yes.
That's better than the penalty cost. I will say to this as well. This is another kind of boring feature. It's powerful again, and it's a little bit more
I don't think this one's boring at all. I actually like the visual it paints. I'm attacking so fast that I missed, but the sword is still swinging around, and I don't know. That's exciting to me.
I get excited by abilities that give me new things to do. I get excited about abilities that change how I engage with the game on some level. This just makes me better at what I was already doing. It does make you meaningfully better. I can understand why you're excited about this. I respect your decision, your desire to be excited about this. This is a giant power bump.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not. It's just like, I would much prefer getting a new toy, a new reason to take a different attack action, or some augmentation to my attacks. I would have loved Gloom Stalker to have a little bit more of the fear stuff baked into it, and this could have been a place to complete that. The same with 7th level could have been a place to do something maybe with Frighten, maybe like make you feel a little bit edgier and cooler. This just kind of feels like you attack a lot, and I don't really see the gloom in
No.
that, right? Like, this doesn't conceptually make me super happy about the
Well,
fantasy that I'm supposed
it's
to be
not
getting.
the Gloom's flurry, it's the Stalker's flurry.
Yeah, I don't. If I'm envisioning a stalker, normally they're making one shot, one kill, right? They are the assassin on the rooftop that's been waiting for 45 minutes, and then they
Yeah.
get the line and they take it. That's what I think of when I think of a Gloom Stalker. I don't think of a man going, "Ah!" right?
Well, all right, to be clear though, this works with ranged weapons too. It's not
Yeah.
there's nothing near, but because all right, then I don't see the visual as much. I'm
Yeah.
seeing swing a sword so fast that I'm still swinging it and having another attack. But shit, I missed. Have another one.
I mean,
But I'm glad it works.
the idea of firing that many, like, more than 4 arrows within a 6-second window is ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, it just doesn't. It's good that you can do it. I'm glad that they didn't make rules around realism. It looks absurd. So people's arms have so many things to do. It requires so much. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot,
Yeah.
is what I'll say. It's a lot. But high level characters deserve to be able to do it. Again, I don't think this is a flavor win. I do think this is a power win. This is a good.
All right, let me ask you this though. All right, now Iron Mind, I think we both agree is kind of boring. But all right, now you said that makes you not want to play this subclass. Do you feel the same way about Stalker's Flurry? Really?
Yeah, I don't like. So my personal preference isn't for features that make my base core play pattern stronger. My preference for features are ones that give me new tools to augment my already existing play pattern, right? So I'd be wanting new reactions, I'd be wanting new bonus actions, I'd be wanting ways to shake up what my attacks already can do. I like options for my attacks to do different things. That's what I would prioritize in doing this. So if we look at like what Umbral Sight offers me is a new way to navigate environments, a reward for playing around in darkness. Dread Ambusher offers me not an early onset reason to want to prep a fight and give me a little bit of a difference in how I want to engage something. 7th and 11th level don't do either of those. It just goes, continue doing what you were already doing and you will do it better.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, Stalker's Flurry makes me want to get to it.
It's fine. Like, it's powerful, especially with Sharpshooter, but I've seen that do its thing. I don't want to see it only do it. Like, it's all you would do is every single combat go, okay, I take 4 attacks this turn, then 3 attacks the rest of the turns. And that's just that's what you do every single fight. And those are not characters I enjoy playing.
Yeah.
I know people that do though. That's fine, and that's what you enjoy. It's just not for me. Yeah, exactly. 15th level gives us shadowy dodge. So starting at 15th level, you can dodge into unforeseen ways with wisps of supernatural shadow around you. Now we are talking. Now this is Gloom Stalking. Whenever a creature makes an attack roll against you and doesn't have advantage on the roll, use your reaction to oppose disadvantage on it. You must use this feature before you know the outcome of the attack. You can just do that, just as many times as you want. Neat.
Yeah, I'm rereading it just to make sure I know exactly how it works. Creature. All right, yeah. You can turn no advantage into disadvantage.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I don't think it's particularly good on this subclass specifically, because this subclass screams take Sharpshooter, because that's the whole point of Stalker's Flurry. So like, you're not going to be taking that many attacks anyway. This is a reason to play a melee ranged Gloom Stalker, which I find deeply, like, way more interesting, because now you want to be like this off tank kind of shadow build where in complete darkness, you are devoid of light. You want to make sure your teammates aren't letting you up, and you're just going to hambone on some demons that can't see you. And the ones that can, you go not anymore, and you give them disadvantage on that attack roll, right? That's kind of cool. I like that look a lot for it. I don't see real Gloom Stalkers doing that. I see real Gloom Stalkers doing this like I'm in way over my head by accident because something got on top of me and now I'm just shadowy dodge.
Yeah, that's me.
And
no,
like, this isn't
like,
overtly powerful, right?
Well, I mean, if you're playing melee, it might be pretty powerful.
So like with a protection fighting style, lets you impose disadvantage on one attack roll to an ally. This is the same thing, but only for you. And it's one attack roll. So protection for
Wait, are you
just you
sure?
once a round for a 50th level feature. When a creature makes an attack roll against you and doesn't have advantage, you can use your reaction, but disadvantage on it.
Oh, you can use your reaction. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's not as good as I was thinking.
Yeah,
Hmm.
which is like, I don't know. I don't think it's a particularly powerful top end feature. I guess I was reliving the hype of this in my mind a lot more so going into it because the first third level features are awesome. I think the
Yeah.
third level features are really really exciting to me. Past the third level features, I just kind of yawn. I just kind of go, this is Ranger Plus. And Shadowy Dodge is where I expect this to go, but it doesn't even necessarily do it in that interesting of a way. It's just once per round you impose disadvantage on attack roll against you. I okay, sure. That's not particularly exciting, nor is that particularly powerful, but it's a thing you do get. If things are only ever making one attack roll against you around, this is kind of just like a big passive boon. Like if you're playing the ranged ranger and only 2 or 3 attacks are fired at you out of the 13 that are happening in the round, that's better in that instance than if you
Yeah.
are getting 13 attacks against you, only one of them gets disadvantage. Like comparatively, the number of attacks you're imposing, a higher percentage of them on the ranged characters are likely going to be made at disadvantage because you're going to take less attacks. But that also means like sometimes you'll have rounds where you can't use it. And I don't want rounds I can't use what is akin to again a first level feature. Ow.
All right. Well, maybe I was wrong when I said this is better for melee. Then maybe it's better for range. If there
I
are,
don't want it on either.
well, I mean, but yeah, if you're playing ranged and not every creature is able to attack you, but one of them slips through the front lines or whatever, then yeah, you might be able to use this more often than you're giving it credit for. I don't know. Maybe
But
not.
like,
But
at how much do I care about that as my 15th level feature?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't care about it that much. I would rather have like a cool Gloom Stalker finale. I'd rather be able to
Yeah,
like,
I would definitely rather have something because the text starts really cool and Gloomstalkery, but
yeah.
the mechanics, mm,
The mechanics of Iron Mind Plus don't deliver on this fantasy at all, I don't think. The spell list does. That helps it a lot. Greater
yeah,
invisibility at 13th level and fear at 9th level definitely play into like the upper tier Gloomstalker fantasy very well. So no complaints there. You will get tools to make you feel like a Gloomstalker in the upper tiers. I just don't think the actual mechanics offered past the third level stuff, while they are powerful in some instances, like Iron Mind getting Wisdom save proficiency is valuable. Stalker's Flurry, you're going to be making one more attack most round. That's pretty freaking good for a feature. I don't think either of them are what I'd want on my, capital E edgy Gloomstalker Ranger. I wouldn't reach for these features out the gate to do the fantasy that I would want Gloomstalker for. I'm amazed it doesn't get any way to make its own darkness. Like you have to get it
yeah, that's
some other
true.
way, right? I think it might be a ranger spell. Let me double check. But like I would expect the Gloomstalker to play around with darkness if it's gonna have that be its core identity. And then it sure nope, Gloomstalkers don't even get darkness as a known spell. Or as a learnable spell. So like you can't even make your own.
Hmm. What what other darkness subclass did we talk about not too long ago? I
I
don't
don't remember.
remember.
We've talked about a lot of subclasses.
Yes, I know.
Shadow Monk gets
I was all right. It was Shadow Monk. I think that was it.
that can make
I
darkness, that teleports around in darkness, that becomes invisible in darkness.
yeah, I was
That's
wondering. I was
way
thinking.
cooler.
Yeah, but I was wondering if like there was a potential cool, multi-class, but I don't want to
Monks are
multi-class my
terrible at
monk.
multiclassing.
Yeah.
They are awful at it.
Oh,
I think maybe you do like main like 5 levels in monk, then dip 3 into Gloomstalker, and then do the rest in monk. I could see that being a thing you do. Then you got
I'm
that if you do get to
I'm
Iron
excited to get
Mind,
to Stalker's Flurry. I
so you do
know.
9 in monk, uh 11 in ranger, something like that.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is then. If you're
No.
not taking most of your levels in monk, you're not multi-classing monk.
Yeah.
So you're not dipping into monk for any particularly compelling reasons. I thought I was gonna give this a resounding A when we started talking about it. I do genuinely think the top 3 features are all really, really boring. And that's gonna move it into B territory for me. I think Shadow Dodge in particular is like a huge disservice for the top end fantasy here. It's just disadvantage on one attack roll around as a reaction. There's no splash to that. There's no like cool, awesome finale. There's no payoff for doing the things you've been wanting to do anyway. It doesn't even work if your creatures that are with dark vision are attacking you in the darkness because Umbral Sight's already imposing disadvantage on them. So like in the environments that you would want to set up for this to work at, it might just not work at all anyway because your other features working as intended. And that kind of jarringness makes me really put off by it. I can't deny though, Stalker's Flurry, Iron Mind, and Dread Ambusher all come together to play a powerful version of Ranger. You can do powerful things here. If you enjoy just powerful features, this does give you a lot of them. I don't love that I think it largely fails me to be cool. I think the coolness factor is lost after third level.
I disagree. I think, because even after third level, you're getting your your extended spells. I feel like this would be good to take to 13th level, get your greater invisibility, and then
Yeah,
7 levels
that
of
makes a lot
something
of
else.
sense. Yeah.
Because
I definitely
I
think
don't
you want to
care
dip
about
out before
shadowy
Shadowy
dodge
Dodge.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And who
yeah,
cares about 17th level seeming? No one cares about 17th level seeming.
no.
I like
um,
13 in this. That seems good. You convinced me that I could consider a 13 in this kind of build. Maybe 13 in this, 7 in Shadow Monk. Then you get 7 key points. But you have to really suffer through
all right.
a lot of
No, I'm
levels.
talking about like a real subclass,
3 levels in Assassin, and then 3 levels in Paladin, and then you can do some
or
Munchkin
just
and stuff.
or just wizard or something. Get some cool spells to enhance
Yeah, that
all
could be
your
cool.
crap. Get your darkness that
I could
way.
see do the Warlock Darkness thing with this, right? You take
Yeah,
Grim
that's true
Darkness and you
too.
can
Yeah.
use the Ranger spell slots for it, and then you can get Umbral Sight so you can see Magical Darkness. That could be cool.
All right. For me, the only thing that's really lacking here is shadowy dodge, and that is almost a boon because it doesn't tempt me to keep going, and it opens me up to multi-classing. So I'll give this an A minus. I feel good about this one. I like it.
I feel worse on this than we started.
Oh,
I really
wow.
petered
The
out after third
tables have
level.
turned.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad to bring you down for once. But what do you viewers think? Let us know down in the comments below. That was Gloom Stalker. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe. Thank you, Sam, and yep, yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.